Alright guys, today we're gonna start with Indian Penal Code part 3. But before starting that part, we need to again revise part number 1 and part number 2. Sorry for uploading the videos late, but I will make sure that I'm gonna upload the videos regularly. And there will be a link in the description box of the video for the Telegram group, so you can join for CS Executive. Without any further delay, we are gonna start with part 3, but before that we need to revise part 1 and part 2. In part number 1, we basically understood the meaning of penal and code, and we basically got a brief idea about Indian Penal Code or a short idea about Indian Penal Code. Then in part number 2, what we really started with, what really is crime, what is jurisdiction, what are the types of jurisdiction, what is intra-territorial jurisdiction, what is extraterritorial jurisdiction. We understood that. Now if a crime is committed in the international waters in the ship, what kind of and what country's jurisdiction will be applicable? It will be totally based on the national flag of which is on the ship. The flag which is on the ship, it's the country's jurisdiction will be applicable on that particular ship. So that's the idea behind that admiralty jurisdiction. That jurisdiction is called admiralty jurisdiction. Without any further delay, we are going to start with Indian Penal Code part 3. Today we are going to have to start with a topic named the fundamental elements of crime. So here you see there is a policeman and there is a thief. Now what really we need to help in the police officer is that we need to make sure that police officer really understand what really are the fundamental elements of crime, so he can catch this thief easily. So without any further delay, let's get started with the fundamental elements of it. The first element is very basic element, that for committing a crime there must be a human being. Second element is mens rea. You just have to remember this name for now. I am gonna make you understand that in the upcoming minutes. Now the third fundamental element of crime is actus reus. It's very common and very easy to understand. We are going to understand that in the upcoming minutes too. So first we need to start with the first fundamental element of crime. You can guess the name right, that is human being. So what is human being? So a crime must be committed by a human being. The second thing is only a human being under legal obligation and capable of being punished can be the proper subject of criminal. The first fundamental element of crime is human being, that we understood now. Now let's understand what really is mens rea. What is mens rea? Mens rea means the act must be accompanied. So whatever criminal act is being done by a person, it must be accompanied by the guilty mind. Means there's something, a bad thing in his mind to constitute a criminal liability, which is quite necessary. Now mens rea has three types. The three types are intention, negligence and recklessness. These are the three types for the mens rea that we need to understand here now. So remember this name. You can even have a short form for this. What really is short form, sir? What really is short form for us? Very basic short form. The short form is INR for remembering three types of mens rea. I for intention, N for negligence and R for recklessness. So that is nothing but mens rea short form. Okay, I hope you got the point. Now what we need to understand now is what really is meant by intention, negligence and recklessness. Without any further delay, first let's start with intention. What is meant by intention? You may have heard this intention. What is your intention to pursue me? What is your intention to love me? What is your intention to get me? So you have heard this word a lot of times and you have the common replies, because I love your eyes, I love your hairs, and whatever the words you use to just make sure that that person impressed by you. Okay, now we need to understand with intention. Intention is basically defined as the purpose or design with which an act is done. Second thing is criminal intention does not just include specific intention but also include generic intention. The best example is, for example, there were two people named A and there is a B. Now A prepares a food and just poisons that food with the intention of killing B. Now here the third person, C, comes and eat that food, and A was not intended to kill C, but eventually he killed. Now what really gonna happen? Should not we punish A because he wanted to kill B? So that is the thing, we need to punish A, because criminal intention does not include just specific intention but also includes generic intention as well. Now the next thing is negligence. What really is meant by negligence? Negligence is nothing but when there is duty to take care but the duty hasn't been fully worked out. Means when there is a duty to take care but there is absence of duty to take care of that thing. means not taking care when there is a duty to take care, means you are intended to do that thing but you did not do that thing. The second thing is negligence or carelessness indicates a status of mind where there is absence of desire, means there is no desire to cause a particular consequence, but it happened due to not taking care of the circumstances. And next is, in criminal law, the negligent conduct amount to mens rea, means it will be seen in the mens rea whether it amounts to mens rea, whether it is can be considered as guilty mind or not. It depends on case to case. The next thing is, for example, you just read this paragraph and you will understand that fully. That is your homework. Please pause the video and read this paragraph. You will understand it very easily. Now I hope you have read this. Now we need to move on. Now let's get to the last type of mens rea, that is recklessness. That is, recklessness means occurs when the actor doesn't desire the consequence but forces the possibility, means whenever you are on high, you take a lot of alcohol and you see that if you drive the car you will just be involved in an accident, then you should not drive. That is recklessness, because you were not intended to kill anybody but in the accident you killed somebody. That doesn't mean that you were not intended so that you will not be punished, but you will be punished. So that is the thing. The next thing, a total disregard for the consequence of one's own action. Recklessness is a form of mens rea. So that is the thing here. So mens rea means an act must be accompanied by the guilty mind. For seeing the mens rea, we will see three elements: intention, then negligence, then recklessness. If any of the one of the element is involved and there is, you see that there is a guilty mind, then mens rea will be applicable in the stage of crime. So okay, in the fundamental element of crime, sorry for the stage of crime, that is not the proper word. Okay, now we need to go to the exceptional cases where mens rea are not seen in criminal law. Let's start with them. The first is where state 2 imposes liability, means where law imposes liability, like in cases of shops, hotel, restaurants and chemist and establishment. Means it just basically means that for example, if the shop hasn't taken the license and there was no guilty intention to commit a crime and there's no crime committed, but there is absolute liability, their mens rea will not be seen that they were not negligent, you were very take care, they were having good intention. Mens rea will not be seen there. The second thing is where it's difficult to prove mens rea, like in case of traffic, you just cross the red light because you were not intended. It was very difficult to prove that you were not intended, so that penalties or petty fines are fine. Okay, in the interest of public safety, if you do anything, mens rea will not be applicable and he or she can be punished. He includes she according to the General Clause Act. I hope you know this fact. The second thing is, if a person violates a law even without the knowledge of the existence, it can be said that he has committed a law, he has committed an act which is prohibited by law. In such cases, he or she will be punished even if he is not aware of the law. Here the maximum applies. The name is ignorance of the law is no excuse. I hope you got the point. Now we need to understand what really is meant by corporate body and mens rea. So what really is meant by corporate body? What really is meant by corporate body? So corporate body, nothing but, first of all, in the definition of IPC, corporate body is also included according to section 11. That is written, includes any company or association of body or whether incorporated or not. The second thing is the criminal intent of the alter ego of the company body, the person or group that guides the imputed. So here the mens rea will also be seen in case of corporate body. So that is nothing but in case of corporate body and mens rea. Okay, I hope you got the point. Now we need to understand what really is the third element of the crime, that is actus reus. What really is meant by actus reus is defined as result of voluntary human conduct which law prohibits. Means there is conduct of human being which law prohibits, like robbery, like murdering someone. So that is nothing but actus reus. An act is willed movement and there should be willed movement of the body. That also we studied in mens rea. So now we have studied three fundamental elements of crime. The first was human being, second was mens rea. Mens rea includes three: intention, recklessness and negligence, and actus reus is nothing but voluntary conduct of human being which law prohibits. Now we need to start with the stages of crime. What really is meant by stages of crime? Stages of crime include four things. First, there should be a criminal intention, there must be preparation, there must be attempt, and there must be commission of crime or accomplishment. Let's understand this thing with a story. Let's say that there is Mr. A. Mr. A wants to rob a bank. He particularly understands the bank, carefully studies the map of the bank, from which entry to go and from which exit to go from. Now he just wants to do that. He wants to rob the bank like the she has seen in the Money Heist. Baby, I am Berlin. So now he has the intention to rob bank. So what really he does the follow preparation. First of all, he wears a mask like Money Heist, but he could not get the mask of hacker like Money Heist. So he got this mask. He buys this gun, and the second stage of crime is done, that is preparation. Third thing is that he went to the bank and gets all the money. He has successfully attempted the robbery and gets back to his home after the accomplishment of the robbery, and he is very happy. Now the thing that bothers is that he sees police coming from the window of his house, and the police comes and arrested. That is the happy ending of the story. So what really we did understand is that there was intention of A, there was preparation done by A. He attempted to rob the bank and he successfully done it. That was his accomplishment. So here we understand four stages of crime. So let's understand them in a very detailed manner. So the first is criminal intention. Let's start with criminal intention. Intention is the conscious exercise of mental faculties of a person to do an act for the purpose of accomplishing or satisfying a person, just like you are doing CS for satisfying your needs and dreams. Second is means on the basis of criminal intention, no law can punish you in India. Okay. The third is the criminal code does not punish a man. That is the same thing that is written here. Okay. Now let's go to the preparation. What really is meant by preparation? Now, preparation doesn't amount to offense. Understand this word. Like buying a mask and buying a gun for self-defense doesn't amount to anything, to punishment in India. But in certain cases, preparation can lead to your punishment. Let's understand that. First of all, preparation means to arrange necessary measure for commission of intended criminal act. Preparation itself is not punishable like in case of bank robbery. Okay, that's what we understand in case of A, as it is difficult to prove that necessary preparation were made for commission of the offense, but in certain exceptional cases where mere preparation is also punishment. Those cases are wage war against the government of India, preparation of counterfeiting of coins or government stamps, possessing counterfeit false weight. Fourth one is making preparation to commit dacoity. You don't have to remember this section. These sections are just here for the purpose of reference. Let's go to the third stage of crime, that is attempt. Attempt has been called as preliminary crime. What is preliminary crime? Means an execution to the intention and preparation and plan. Section 511 does not define attempt but simply provides for the punishment of attempt. The third thing is attempt means the direct commission towards commission, like in just case of A attempted to rob the bank. Direct commission. It should be noted that whether an act amounts to offend, attempt or commit a particular offense is a question of fact depending on the nature of crime and steps necessary to take in order to commit it. Now, under the IPC, the section of attempt can be divided into four broad categories. Those sections in which the commission of an offense and the attempt to commit are dealt within the same section. The best example for that is, for example, waging war against the government of India, whether it is an attempt or execution or commission of that crime. Those things will be covered in same section. Same for both offense is also the attempt. Next thing is those offenses with the attempt to commit specific are dealt, means offense will be dealt side by side and attempt will be dealt side by. The best example is that murder. In case you attempt to murder, then section 307 will be applicable. In case murder is proven that you have murdered, then 302 will be applicable. Now we need to understand attempt to commit suicide specifically dealt in 300 section 309 of IPC. Means attempt, there is a section separate section of attempt, and there is no section if you commit suicide to punish you. The fourth category relates to attempt to commit offenses for which no specific punishment has been provided in the IPC. Such attempts means there is no specific attempt provided in IPC. Such attempt covered in section 511. Now there is a homework for you. Please read this paragraph and comment down its meaning. I don't know, you have to comment down below. The simple meaning is hidden in this paragraph. Okay? Now moving on to the last stage of crime, that is commission of crime. It just says that if you successfully commit the crime, then you will be only guilty of offense. If your attempt is unsuccessful, then you will be guilty for attempt only. Read this, take 2 minute time. If you want to note down, please note down. Okay. Now let's say again understand what is presumption of innocence. Whenever you are arrested, there is a presumption of innocence by the court. Until and unless you are proven guilty, you are innocent in the eyes of law. That's what it says. Now let's understand what are the punishments being laid down in the IPC. The first is death, the second is life imprisonment, third is imprisonment, fourth is forfeiture of property, and the fifth one is fine. These are the 5 punishments that are prescribed by the IPC. So let's understand with the death. Now the Supreme Court has ruled out that death ought to be imposed only in the rarest of rare cases. So these are the rarest of rare cases. The first one is death. The IPC provides for capital punishment for the following offences. You may read these offences, take 2 minute time and pause the video. Now I hope you have paused the video. Now let's move on to life imprisonment. Life imprisonment means rigorous imprisonment for the whole life until last breath of the convict. The third is imprisonment. Imprisonment means which is of 2 description, namely rigorous imprisonment means hard labor you have to do in the jail, and the second one is simple imprisonment. Now the next one is forfeiture of property. What do you mean by forfeiture of property? It simply means that forfeiture the destitute of specific property without compelling consequence of some default or act for bail. Like in case of bank, you do not pay the interest, then your security, like if you have you have given the security of house to the bank, then the house will be sold. The courts may order for forfeiture of property of the accused in certain occasions, and they will be covered in the 126 and 127 of 5PC. That is nothing but forfeiture of property. I hope you read this. Now the last is fine. Fine is nothing but forfeiture of money. Like if the court has given you the punishment and the court asks you to pay certain fine, then you have to pay the fine. Otherwise your punishment will be increased. That is written here. Please take 2 minute time and read this. Now the next one is a fun fact. Now the lecture here is over, but you can really get to the fun fact. Now you have all heard the company name Zomato. Zomato recently got its IPO, and on the market day when it was listed, its price was 116. If you had bought 1000 shares at the rate of 116, you would have spent 1,16,000. Now the current price, the last seen I say that 132. Now it's now 1000 into 132 is 1,32,000. So that is the simple math. If you have invested in Zomato, you would have get the profit. So that is nothing but an investment trip related to stock market, that you can understand the company financial, company's net worth and the company's team, and then you can invest in the stock market. Stock market is a really beautiful place where you can make profit, but a lot of time you can end up in losses. What you need to do is get a lot of education related to the stock market. But I am telling you that because you can open your, before investing in stock market, you should have a demat account. So ICICIdirect.com is offering you to open your free demat account. Like in case of UPSTOX, they are charging 99 rupees. In future, all the demat accounts, all the demat site may charge a little bit of fees for opening the account, but now the time is free. You can open your account for free. For opening a demat account and investing in stocks, you can easily do that. After getting the required education to invest in stocks, you can just simply go to this site from the link available in the description, where you can open your demat account and then get a lot of knowledge to invest and get in the stock market for a long term. Don't come for short term stock market, because you are gonna get lost. So make sure you come for the long term, and you can open your demat account from the link in the description box of the video. So that's it for today's guys. And if you wanna make me to open a Telegram group, please comment down below. And can we aim for 10 likes for this video? Thank you for watching the video, and make sure you get the 10 likes for this video. And you can, for any query, mail me at missioncs642@gmail.com. Goodbye for this video.